Life rewards those who are willing to push beyond their limits. It does not hand out success freely. It does not favor the lazy. It does not cater to those who merely wish and hope. Life bows to those who are relentless, those who work tirelessly and refuse to be distracted by the noise of the world. In a time where distractions are endless and everyone is chasing something, how do you ensure you are chasing what truly matters? How do you ensure that your energy, your time, your effort, everything that you pour into your days actually leads you to the life you desire? Hard work alone is not enough. You can work 18 hours a day, but if your focus is scattered, if your energy is spent on the meaningless, you will remain stuck in place, watching others pass you by. This is why you must work hard and focus on what really matters. Because when you combine effort with precision, when you align your grind with purpose, that is when the impossible becomes possible. Hard work is often seen as the key to success, but what most people fail to realize is that effort alone is not enough. People can spend countless hours working, grinding, and pushing themselves, yet still find themselves stuck in the same place. The reason? They mistake motion for progress. They believe that being busy equates to being productive. But the truth is, movement without direction is just wasted energy. It is like running on a treadmill. No matter how fast or how long you run, you will never actually go anywhere. So many people fall into this trap. They start their day checking emails, responding to messages, handling small tasks, jumping from one thing to another. And by the end of the day, they feel exhausted. They feel as though they have done a lot, but when they take a step back and analyze their progress, they realize that they are no closer to their goals than they were yesterday. This is because they have spent their time on things that kept them busy rather than on things that truly mattered. The difference between motion and progress lies in intentionality. Motion is action without a clear goal, while progress is action with a purpose. Motion gives the illusion of accomplishment, but progress is what actually leads to results. Imagine a person who wants to start a business. Instead of focusing on actually launching their product, they spend months designing the perfect logo, fine-tuning their website, and watching countless business tutorials without taking any real action. They feel productive because they are doing something, but in reality, they are just moving in circles without making real progress. One of the biggest reasons people stay stuck in motion is because it feels safe. Motion allows people to convince themselves that they are working toward their dreams without facing the fear of failure. If they keep preparing, keep planning, keep learning, they never have to take that scary first step that could lead to rejection or mistakes. But progress requires risk. It requires stepping outside of comfort zones, making bold moves, and taking imperfect action. To truly move forward in life, one must learn to separate meaningful work from busy work. It is not about how much you do, it is about what you do. A person can work 16 hours a day, but if they are focused on the wrong things, their efforts will amount to nothing. On the other hand, someone who works with laser focus for just a few hours a day, prioritizing tasks that create real results, will see more progress in a month than others do in a year. This is why clarity is essential. Without a clear vision, it is easy to fall into the trap of endless movement without direction. When you do not know exactly what you are working toward, you become reactive instead of proactive. You spend your time responding to demands, chasing distractions, and following whatever comes your way, instead of strategically working toward your goals. Clarity allows you to differentiate between what is truly important and what is simply keeping you occupied. Time is the most valuable resource you have. Unlike money, which can be earned back, or possessions, which can be replaced, time once spent is gone forever. That is why it is critical to be intentional about how you use it. Every moment wasted on things that do not contribute to your growth is a moment lost forever. The key to success is not working harder, but working smarter. It is about ensuring that every ounce of effort you put in is directed towards something that truly moves you forward. One of the most effective ways to avoid the trap of meaningless motion is to set clear, measurable goals. When you know exactly what you are trying to achieve, you can filter out distractions and focus on what truly matters. Instead of mindlessly checking tasks off a to-do list, you begin to prioritize actions that bring you closer to your desired outcome. A good way to do this is by asking yourself, is what I'm doing right now bringing me closer to my goal? If the answer is no, it is time to realign your focus. Another important aspect of making real progress is learning to say no. Many people feel the need to say yes to every request, every opportunity, and every demand placed upon them. But not everything deserves your attention. Not every opportunity aligns with your vision. Successful people understand that saying no to the unimportant is saying yes to what truly matters. They guard their time fiercely and do not allow themselves to be pulled into activities that do not contribute to their success. Focusing on progress over motion also requires the discipline to measure results. If you are not tracking your growth, you will never know if you are truly moving forward or just running in place. This is why successful people constantly evaluate their performance. They analyze what is working and what is not, and they make adjustments accordingly. They do not just work for the sake of working, they work with purpose and precision. At the end of the day, the difference between success and failure often comes down to this one principle. Are you just moving, or are you actually making progress? Success is never handed out freely. It demands something in return, and that price is sacrifice. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of glory comes at a cost. Those who rise above the rest understand that to gain something extraordinary, they must be willing to let go of the ordinary. They must give up comfort, distractions, and even parts of themselves that no longer serve their higher purpose. The journey to greatness is not a smooth, easy road. It is paved with discipline, relentless effort, and the willingness to pay the price that most people refuse to pay. Many people desire success, but few are willing to make the necessary sacrifices. They want wealth, but are unwilling to put in the long hours of learning, taking risks, and making tough decisions. They want a strong and healthy body, but are unwilling to commit to a strict diet and consistent exercise. They want mastery in their craft, but hesitate to invest time in deliberate practice. This is why so many dreams remain unfulfilled, because the desire for success is not enough. It is the willingness to give up temporary pleasures for long-term rewards that separates the great from the average. Sacrifice often begins with time. The most valuable asset anyone has is time, and how it is used determines the trajectory of life. Those who achieve greatness do not waste their days on meaningless entertainment, unnecessary distractions, or mindless scrolling. They understand that every second spent on something unimportant is a second stolen from their goals. They choose discipline over entertainment, focus over distractions, and productivity over leisure. This does not mean they never rest, but their rest is intentional, not an escape from responsibility. They prioritize what matters most, while others let time slip away on things that do not contribute to their success. Comfort is another major obstacle that must be sacrificed on the path to greatness. Comfort feels good, but it is also the enemy of growth. The moment someone becomes too comfortable, they stop pushing themselves. Growth happens in discomfort, in the struggle, in the moments of doubt and difficulty. The most successful individuals in any field did not get there by staying in their comfort zones. They put themselves in challenging situations, faced failures, embraced uncertainty, and pushed their limits even when it was painful. They understood that if they wanted to become better, they had to endure discomfort over and over again. Relationships are also an area where sacrifice is often required. Not everyone is meant to walk the journey to success with you. Some people drain energy, bring negativity, or hold you back from reaching your full potential. Many struggle with letting go of friendships or relationships that no longer serve their growth, but those who truly want to succeed must make difficult choices. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, inspire them, and push them to become better. They let go of toxic influences, negative mindsets, and anything that stands in the way of their progress. Perhaps one of the most difficult sacrifices is giving up immediate gratification. Most people want quick results. They want success now, wealth now, happiness now. But the greatest rewards in life do not come instantly. They require patience, persistence, and long-term commitment. The most successful individuals understand that small, consistent actions today lead to massive rewards in the future. They sacrifice the urge for quick wins and instead commit to the slow, steady path of mastery. They are willing to wait, to work, to grind, even when the results are not immediately visible. Fear is another thing that must be sacrificed on the road to greatness. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection. These are the chains that hold people back from taking action. Most people let fear dictate their choices. They hesitate, they doubt themselves, and they stay where it feels safe. But those who achieve greatness do the opposite. They sacrifice their fears by facing them head on. They take risks. They embrace failure as a learning tool, and they refuse to let the opinions of others dictate their future. They understand that growth comes from stepping into the unknown and pushing past their limitations. Even personal identity must sometimes be sacrificed. Many people define themselves by their past experiences, their struggles, or their limitations. They hold on to old versions of themselves, afraid to change, afraid to evolve. But success demands transformation. It requires becoming a new, stronger, wiser version of oneself. Those who truly want to succeed must be willing to let go of old habits, limiting beliefs, and outdated identities. They must reinvent themselves as the person who is capable of achieving their dreams. The reality is that sacrifice is not about loss. It is about trading temporary pleasure for long-term fulfillment, trading comfort for growth, trading distractions for focus. It is about understanding that the price of greatness is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Those who are willing to make the necessary sacrifices are the ones who achieve the extraordinary. In a world full of distractions, the ability to focus is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. Success is not just about talent or hard work. It is about the ability to direct one's energy toward what truly matters without being pulled away by meaningless diversions. Most people struggle to focus because they live in an environment that constantly demands their attention. Their phones buzz with notifications, emails flood their inboxes, social media feeds are designed to keep them scrolling endlessly, and entertainment is always just a click away. It is easier than ever to be busy, yet accomplish nothing of real significance. The reason focus is so powerful is that it acts as a multiplier. A person who works with intense focus for a few hours can achieve more than someone who works distracted for an entire day. Focus allows people to work smarter, not just harder. It ensures that the energy they put in translates into meaningful results rather than wasted effort. But focus does not come naturally. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and the ability to say no to everything that does not align with one's highest priorities. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with focus is because they do not have a clear vision. When someone is unclear about their goals, they become easily distracted by things that seem important in the moment, but do not contribute to their long-term success. Without a strong sense of direction, it is easy to be pulled into every small task, every new idea, and every opportunity that comes along, even if it is not the right one. People who are focused know exactly what they want, and because of that clarity, they do not waste time on anything that does not move them closer to their goals. The ability to focus is not just about avoiding distractions. It is about training the mind to stay locked in on a single task without constantly shifting gears. Many people believe they are good at multitasking, but research has proven that multitasking is a myth. The brain cannot effectively focus on multiple things at once. Instead, it rapidly switches between tasks, reducing efficiency and increasing mental fatigue. People who achieve great things do not try to do everything at once. They dedicate their full attention to one thing at a time, completing it with excellence before moving on to the next. Another critical aspect of focus is learning how to eliminate unnecessary distraction. The environment a person surrounds themselves with has a direct impact on their ability to concentrate. If someone constantly has their phone within reach, they will be tempted to check it. If they work in a noisy or chaotic space, their mind will struggle to stay engaged. Successful individuals design their environment in a way that supports deep work. They remove unnecessary distractions, set clear boundaries, and create an atmosphere that encourages focus. One of the greatest enemies of focus is the addiction to instant gratification. Most distractions exist because they provide quick pleasure. Social media, entertainment, and constant notifications all give small bursts of dopamine, making them highly addictive. But true success requires the ability to delay gratification. It demands the discipline to resist short-term pleasure in favor of long-term rewards. This is why focused individuals set strict rules for themselves. They limit their exposure to distractions, schedule deep work sessions, and train their minds to stay engaged even when things get difficult. Focus is not just about external distractions, it is also about mastering internal distractions. The human mind is constantly bombarded with thoughts, worries, and doubts. Many people struggle to focus because their minds are filled with unnecessary mental noise. They think about past mistakes, worry about the future, or let self-doubt creep in. The most successful people learn to quiet their minds. They develop mental discipline through practices like meditation, visualization, and mindfulness. They train themselves to stay present in the moment, fully engaged in whatever they are doing without letting their thoughts wander aimlessly. A focused person also understands the importance of saying no. Every opportunity, every commitment, and every invitation takes up time and energy. People who lack focus say yes to everything, spreading themselves too thin and leaving little room for what truly matters. But those who are truly committed to their goals have no problem turning down anything that does not align with their mission. They value their time, protect their energy, and refuse to be pulled in 100 different directions. At the core of focus is consistency. It is not enough to be focused for a day or a week. Real success comes from sustained, long-term focus over months and years. This requires setting habits that reinforce focus daily. It means developing routines, setting clear goals, and holding oneself accountable. Focused individuals do not rely on motivation alone. They create systems that make focus a way of life. They understand that every moment spent in deep, meaningful work compounds over time, leading them closer to their dreams. Motivation is often seen as the fuel for success, but the truth is that motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes, fluctuating with emotions, circumstances, and external factors. There are days when a person wakes up feeling inspired, driven, and ready to take on the world, but there are also days when that energy disappears completely. Relying on motivation alone creates inconsistency, and inconsistency is the enemy of progress. This is why discipline is far more powerful than motivation. Discipline ensures that action is taken regardless of how one feels, making it the true foundation of long-term success. Successful people do not wait to feel motivated before they take action. They operate based on commitment rather than feelings. They wake up and put in the work even when they do not feel like it. They show up consistently, not because they are always inspired, but because they have built the habit of discipline. This is what separates those who achieve great things from those who struggle to make progress. The disciplined individual understands that emotions are temporary, but the results of their actions are permanent. They know that every step forward, no matter how small, compounds over time and leads to massive achievements. One of the key reasons discipline is superior to motivation is that it creates momentum. When a person only works when they feel inspired, their progress is unpredictable. They move forward in bursts, followed by periods of inactivity. But when discipline is in place, action becomes a daily habit. Even on difficult days, progress continues, and over time, that consistency builds unstoppable momentum. Small efforts repeated daily are far more powerful than occasional bursts of motivation. The best athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders are not the ones who feel motivated every day. They are the ones who have trained themselves to perform at a high level, regardless of how they feel. Discipline is also what builds resilience. Challenges, setbacks, and failures are an inevitable part of any journey. When a person relies on motivation, they are likely to give up when things get tough. When progress slows down, when obstacles appear, when things do not go as planned, motivation often disappears. But discipline keeps a person going, even in the face of adversity. It pushes them forward when every part of them wants to quit. The strongest individuals are not the ones who never struggle, but the ones who keep moving forward despite their struggles. They embrace discomfort, knowing that success is not about how they feel in the moment, but about the long-term results of their actions. Building discipline is not about relying on willpower alone. Willpower fades just like motivation. True discipline is built through habits, routines, and systems that make success automatic. The most disciplined people do not leave their progress up to chance. They create environments that make it easier to stay on track. They structure their days in a way that eliminates distractions, minimizes temptation, and reinforces positive behavior. They set clear goals, track their progress, and hold themselves accountable. They do not wait until they feel like doing something. They create a system that ensures they do it regardless of how they feel. Another powerful aspect of discipline is that it rewires the brain. When a person consistently takes action, even when they do not feel like it, their mind begins to adapt. What once felt difficult becomes second nature. The body and mind adjust to the routine, and over time, discipline transforms into identity. The person no longer sees themselves as someone who struggles to stay consistent. They become someone who naturally follows through on their commitments. Discipline, when practiced long enough, becomes effortless. It turns into a way of life rather than something that requires constant effort. Many people make the mistake of waiting for the right moment to start. They tell themselves they will begin when they feel more motivated, when circumstances are better, when life is less stressful. But waiting is a trap. The right moment never arrives because there will always be challenges, distractions, and obstacles. The most successful people understand that the best time to start is now. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They take action despite the imperfections. They know that discipline is built through doing, not through waiting. The more they practice showing up every day, the stronger their discipline becomes. Another major reason discipline leads to success is that it removes decision fatigue. When a person is disciplined, they do not waste energy debating whether or not to take action. They have already decided in advance that they will do the work no matter what. This eliminates hesitation, reduces mental exhaustion, and frees up energy for more important things. The less time spent negotiating with oneself, the more time and energy can be directed toward meaningful progress. This is why disciplined individuals often seem more productive. They are not constantly battling with themselves over whether or not to take action. They simply do what needs to be done. Success is never an accident. It is the result of clarity, direction, and knowing exactly where to focus one's energy. Many people struggle in life not because they lack potential, but because they lack a clear goal. They drift from one thing to another, constantly changing their direction, chasing distractions, and wondering why they never make progress. Without a clear vision, energy is scattered, motivation fades quickly, and frustration sets in. But those who achieve great things understand the power of having a specific goal. They know exactly what they want, why they want it, and how they will achieve it. A clear goal acts like a roadmap. It provides direction, helping to eliminate confusion and uncertainty. When someone knows where they are going, decisions become easier. They do not waste time on things that do not contribute to their success. Every action, every effort, and every choice is aligned with their ultimate objective. This sense of purpose creates focus and prevents distractions from taking over. People who lack a clear goal often find themselves overwhelmed, trying to do too many things at once and making little progress in any area. But those with a defined goal have a laser-like focus that allows them to move forward with confidence. One of the biggest mistakes people make is setting vague goals. They say they want to be successful, happy, or wealthy, but they have no specific definition of what that means. Without clarity, these goals remain nothing more than wishes. Successful individuals, on the other hand, set clear and measurable goals. They do not just say they want to be wealthy, they define exactly how much money they want to earn, by when and how they plan to achieve it. They do not just say they want to be healthy, they create a specific plan for their fitness and nutrition. The more specific a goal is, the more achievable it becomes. Another reason a clear goal is powerful is that it creates accountability. When a goal is vague, there is no real pressure to take action. But when a goal is clearly defined, there is no room for excuses. A person either makes progress or does not. This level of accountability forces action. It creates urgency and pushes a person to stay committed even when motivation is low. It also allows for tracking progress. Without a clear goal, it is impossible to measure growth. But when a goal is specific, it becomes easy to see what is working, what needs improvement, and what adjustments need to be made along the way. A well-defined goal also fuels persistence. The journey to success is never smooth. There will be obstacles, failures, and moments of doubt. Many people give up when things get tough because they lose sight of their goal. They forget why they started, and their motivation fades. But those with a clear goal stay committed, no matter how difficult things become. They have a strong reason behind their actions, and that reason keeps them going when challenges arise. They understand that setbacks are temporary, but their goal is worth the struggle. Having a clear goal also strengthens decision-making. Every day, a person faces countless choices. Some decisions move them closer to their goal, while others pull them further away. Without a clear goal, it is easy to make impulsive decisions that feel good in the moment but do not contribute to long-term success. But when a goal is well-defined, every decision is filtered through that lens. It becomes easier to say no to distractions, to avoid time-wasting activities, and to prioritize what truly matters. Every action becomes intentional, leading to faster and more consistent progress. Another key advantage of having a clear goal is that it attracts the right opportunities. When a person is clear about what they want, they start recognizing opportunities that align with their vision. Their mind becomes more focused on finding ways to achieve their goal. They connect with the right people, find the right resources, and take advantage of situations that others might overlook. Success is not just about working hard, it is about working smart and putting effort into the right things. A clear goal ensures that effort is directed toward the most effective actions rather than wasted on unimportant tasks. A strong goal also builds confidence. When a person has a clear vision, they believe in themselves more. They develop a strong sense of purpose, which fuels their self-discipline and determination. Every small step they take toward their goal reinforces their belief that they are capable of achieving great things. Confidence grows with progress, and progress comes from having a clear direction. Without a goal, doubt and hesitation take over. But with a well-defined objective, a person moves forward with certainty, knowing that each step brings them closer to success. Every day presents a series of choices, and the quality of those choices determines the direction of a person's life. Some choices seem small and insignificant, but over time they add up to shape success or failure. People who achieve great things understand the importance of making the right decisions, even in the smallest details. They recognize that every action they take either moves them closer to their goals or pulls them further away. This understanding creates a mindset of responsibility where they take full ownership of their lives instead of blaming circumstances, luck, or other people. Taking responsibility means accepting that where one is in life is a direct result of past decisions. It is easy to make excuses, to blame external factors, or to look for reasons why things are not working out. But those who take full responsibility understand that success is in their hands. They do not wait for the perfect opportunity, they create it. They do not complain about challenges. They find ways to overcome them. This shift in mindset is powerful because it removes the victim mentality and replaces it with control. When a person believes they are in control of their future, they start making better choices that align with their vision. A major part of taking responsibility is developing self-discipline. Many people have dreams, but few have the discipline to follow through consistently. They start with excitement but lose focus when things get difficult. They allow distractions, procrastination, and bad habits to take over. Those who take responsibility do not let temporary feelings dictate their actions. They follow their schedule, stick to their commitments, and push forward even when motivation fades. They understand that success is not about what they feel like doing, it is about what needs to be done, regardless of circumstances. Personal responsibility also requires being honest about weaknesses and areas that need improvement. It is easy to ignore flaws, to pretend they do not exist, or to blame others when things go wrong. But real growth happens when a person acknowledges where they are falling short and takes action to improve. This means being willing to learn, adapt, and make changes where necessary. It means seeking knowledge, developing new skills, and constantly striving to be better. People who take responsibility never see themselves as victims of their circumstances. They see themselves as creators of their destiny. Another critical part of taking responsibility is managing time effectively. Time is the most valuable resource, and once it is wasted, it can never be regained. Many people spend their days reacting to situations instead of planning and prioritizing. They allow distractions, unnecessary commitments, and unproductive habits to consume their time. But those who take responsibility understand that every minute counts. They plan their days, set clear priorities, and ensure that their time is spent on things that truly matter. They do not waste hours on meaningless entertainment or social media. They use their time wisely to invest in their goals, relationships, and personal growth. Success is also about taking responsibility for the energy and mindset a person brings to each day. A negative attitude, fear, and self-doubt can hold a person back more than any external obstacle. People who take full responsibility work on their mindset daily. They guard their thoughts, focus on solutions instead of problems, and cultivate a strong belief in their abilities. They surround themselves with positive influences, read books that expand their knowledge, and stay away from negativity. They do not let circumstances dictate their mood or productivity. They take charge of their emotions and stay committed to their vision. Taking responsibility also means understanding that failure is a part of the journey. Many people fear failure and avoid taking risks because they do not want to make mistakes. But those who take responsibility see failure differently. They view it as feedback, a lesson that helps them grow. They do not waste time dwelling on past mistakes or feeling sorry for themselves. Instead, they analyze what went wrong, make adjustments, and keep moving forward. They do not let failure define them. They use it as a stepping stone to success. A person who takes responsibility never waits for someone else to solve their problems. They do not expect life to be fair or easy. They accept that challenges will come, and they prepare themselves mentally and physically to overcome them. They do not waste time blaming the economy, their upbringing, or their circumstances. Instead, they focus on what they can control and take action. They know that success is not given, it is earned through hard work, smart decisions, and persistence. Taking responsibility is what separates those who achieve great things from those who remain stuck in the same place year after year. This journey will not be easy. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. There will be moments when you question everything. But remember this, nothing worth having ever comes easy. The struggle, the grind, the sacrifices, they are all part of the process. Stay focused, work hard, cut out the noise, and never lose sight of what truly matters. Because the ones who refuse to quit, the ones who stay disciplined, the ones who stay focused, those are the ones who win. And you have everything it takes. Now go out and prove it.